Hello, and welcome back to another video. So, this week we are discussing the Atari VCS. Anyway, my precious boy. So, the Atari VCS. The Atari VCS. If you don't know what this is, it is a combination console, PC, and streaming hub, predominantly for games. So when this thing launched, it had like 4 games on it. It had Xbox Cloud Gaming, which is still on here. Amazon Luna. I think Nvidia. And it had Google Stadia. You remember that fucking thing. So, yeah, I picked this up. I picked this up for 2 reasons. Number one, I bought this 3 years ago, in 2022, at the time of recording. And a big part of that was, I'm a big Atari fan. Big Atari fan. Huge Atari fan. Love the Atari. And I wanted Atari's most recent system. Which this is shocking, I know. Largely because they'd been doing some weird shit. They've been doing some weird shit to sort of relaunch themselves as a gaming brand. It started with a sort of Bitcoin. Don't ask me what Bitcoin is. I don't care. I think it was called Atari Token or some shit. NFTs, which... okay... the re-release of retro games, or more accurately, new retro games in what was called their Recharge series. Now, I do have the bulk of them on the Atari VCS, but I did also pick up the limited run collections 1 and 2. 1 and 2. I don't own 3 and 4 yet. I will, down the line. Just not right now. Haven't actually played these, because I've got them on the VCS. Now, apart from the VCS, the other thing Atari thought would be a really good idea to do is get into hotels. Hotels. Hotels! Atari thought it would be a really good idea to get into hotels. And you want the God's honest truth, what a fucking stupid idea that was. And if anyone at Atari is watching that from that time, you know it was a stupid idea because it never fucking went anywhere. Ridiculous. Absolutely ludicrous concept. Here's the kicker. Lots of companies have done stuff like that, especially in video games. Nintendo used to run brothels. Before they got into video games, Nintendo used to run brothels. Now, bearing in mind, Nintendo have been around for over 100 years. Yeah, over 100 years. Yet, brothels. So hotels wasn't too far out the loop. Now, I couldn't support the hotels. I refused to get into NFTs. I refused to get into Bitcoin and crap like that. Games, on the other hand, yes, very much so. So, here was the kicker. The Atari VCS launched in 2021/2020, but it was more like 2021. Tail end of COVID. Jeez, my hair. Tail end of COVID. And after that, they went, hey, let's release a console with the lead programming engineer or software engineer or hardware engineer, whatever he may be, from the original Xbox. Which is very cool. And then we're not going to pay him. And a lot of stupid crap like that. Here's the kicker. This came out. This actually came out. I was going through a period of going, right, there's a bunch of weird shit coming out. There's a bunch of weird consoles coming out. There's the MetaQuest. There's the Panic Playdate. There's the Intellivision Amico. RIP. There's the Polymega, and there's the Atari VCS. Here's the kicker. I bought this in June 2022, after buying the Polymega, and the Polymega arrived January last year. So for 2 years, basically the only thing I had out of those initial 5 consoles was the Quest 2, which I sold, and the Atari VCS. I don't own a Playdate yet. I will. They're hideously expensive. But yes, the Atari VCS. What do I actually think of this system? I think it's one of the most entertaining, weird little things I own in my entire collection. Now, this was 350 quid, not including the power brick. So, unfortunately, for whatever reason, probably because it didn't sell very well in America, the Atari VCS only launched in America. As a result, I had to pay £350, including import tax, to get this bloody thing over here so I could actually play it. And then I went, there's no games on it. There's no games I'm going to play. Was this a waste of time? Was this a waste of money? I did debate on getting rid of it, circa 2023. It's still here. It outlasted the MetaQuest. It's outlasted the Amico, because that didn't come out. It outlasted the Playdate, in that I haven't got one yet. I even dropped 100 quid on getting a brand new bloody controller for the fucking thing, which is sealed, which is nice. I will open it one day. A brand new controller for the bloody thing, in the off chance that the one that came with the console doesn't work anymore. And the off chance I actually have somebody who would be interested in playing multiplayer on this. Because I really like this system. I do. It has really, really grown on me over the last couple of years. I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't tell you why. I couldn't genuinely sit there and go, right, why has the VCS grown on me? I've played it more than the Polymega, which is telling, because I have plugged that Polymega in 100 different times, played 100 different games on it, but over the last 3 years, I've put more time into the VCS. I put more time into the VCS last year than I did with the Polymega period. I played the Polymega once in January, and then cut to about a year later, I really started putting time into it. Now, I will get that thing back out again one day, once I figure out how to do multiplayer on it. Fucking thing. But VCS, on the other hand, I keep getting this thing out. It is a permanent staple on my desk when I should be working. No, I'm joking. On lunch breaks from work, I will just go, turn it on, away we go. So, what changed? What changed between going, do I get rid of this thing? It was 350 quid. A lot of money. It was a waste of money. Do I sell this to the guy in town? Will he want it? I'll give him the brick as well, I suppose. What changed my mind? Very simply, food fight. Food fight. Food fight for the Atari VCS, which is also on Steam. But Atari, last February, I'd had this for a year. So I played it on and off. I was like, nah, not a huge fan of some of the games on here. Not keen. Whatever. Do I get another controller? Do I waste that much money? Then Atari sent out a code. So if you were a part of their email list or whatever, they sent out a code for Valentine's Day for one free game. And I went, there's only one game on this thing I actively want to play. And it's not your typical Atari recharged fare. It's not things like Black Widow or Quantum Recharged or anything like that. I was stuck between two. It was Avian Knights, which is a Joust clone, which is aggressively mediocre, or Food Fight Culinary Combat, which is a third-person action shooter, based around Splatoon, which is whole kind of weird. It's a lot of fun, it's really stupid, and I think I can only really showcase what I mean by showing you the VCS. So I've got this little bad boy plugged in right now, and we're going to take a look at the games. I've got about 40. 42. It's 42 now. It's going to be 43. Is that right? It might be 41. 41, sorry. It's 41 games. And I'm waiting on one more release, which is coming out this, hopefully next month in May, for iRobot, which is a Jeff Minter game. Jeff Minter made Tempest 2000, Tempest 4000, Tempest 3000, not Tempest 1. And a bunch of games about llamas. So, let's see what games I've got on the VCS. So yes, here we are, the Atari VCS. You'll have to excuse me. I am recording on a device because I don't have a capture card. I don't even know how it would work for this thing, but I have a absolute gargantuan mega hop of games for this thing. As in, I've got 40 out of the, how many was it? 203! They've added a new one. Bernie and the Tower of Doom for the 7800. Yes, very recently, they had 5 games release for the VCS, completely for free. So if you're going to pick up one of these things, there's 5 games straight off the bat. As you can see, I own a lot of weird stuff. But we'll get back to what we were originally looking at. So, I started off with some weird stuff, like Airy, A Journey Beyond Time, which is a bird simulator. The console did come with Atari Volt. Now, Atari Volt has... when it shows... by Code Mystics, who I don't think are around anymore. Yeah, so the console came with Atari Volt, and it came with a month's worth of the heck was it called? Something arcade. It was like a streaming thing. But yeah, nice, decent selection of games. You sort of change which one by Y. And then it mostly covers Atari 2600 and some of the arcade games. Pong, obviously. It also gives you some things like the original Pong machine. That is that's an advertisement by Atari Corporation or Syzygy. So Syzygy was the original name of the Atari, or definitely one of them. Pong doubles, quad pong. You know, I wouldn't mind Pong doubles. I'm not sure what that is. I think it's an advert for quad pong. Pong Keyring by Tiger Electronics, which I'm going to be honest with it, no. Yeah, so you get to see some like really cool gallery stuff with this. Tempest. Holiday greetings from Tempest. That's a Tempest pin, another Tempest pin, the Operation Maintenance and Service Manual, which is cool. Just, yeah, what a hell of a game. I think that's, yeah. Play new Atari Tempest. It's a cool collection. Atari then went on to do something similar of their own with the Atari 50 collection. So the Atari 50 collection came out also in 2022. I did and about getting it on here, but I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't see much point. I like that game. I like that game a lot, or that game collection. It's basically this gallery mode, but better. It's the gallery mode, but better. They also went on to do Atari Volt 2. Thank you, nerd, what's his face. But these are the main games that you're going to be looking at for this thing. Atari Recharged is a series of Atari's games that were developed basically to reinvent the wheel. Admittedly, Atari didn't own Berserk to begin with, but they have recently been just on an absolute buying spree of old shit, which they've now made another version of. I really like this game. I love Berserk Recharged. It is a hell of a lot of fun. Credit to the Atari VCS, it loads crazy quickly. I say that, it's now not loading. Brilliant. Berserk by Sneaky Box. So yeah, arcade, missions. I guess I'll just show you that I'm not going to take any of those, because that would be stupid. But it does actually have multiplayer. If you've got a second controller, which I do, you can just plug it into this thing and away you go. So yeah, there you go. There are robots, as per the old Berserk. Oh god, and Evil Otto, my favourite boy. So as you can see, I am not great. Oh shit, here he comes. So Otto will typically show up once per... Well, unless you keep moving, of course. There he is. He's going to show up in 5 seconds. Ooh, there you go. So you can grab speed. In this case, I have increased my dash capacity by quite a good margin. Come on, come on, come on. Here we go. That is bouncing shot. So my shots now bounce off of walls, which is pretty sick. But yeah. Oh, okay, hang on. There are other benefits to the VCS that I won't really go into. Specifically, you've got something called PC mode. Now, Atari used to sell a memory stick that had like an operating system on it to essentially upload onto PC mode. I haven't purchased it. I have no real interest, but you've also got like Chrome, which I can't delete, which is lame. It takes up space, and it's not particularly versatile, to be honest. They also used to have an app called the Atari VCS Companion, which, as far as I'm aware, they've deleted, which sucks, because it basically let you control the Atari VCS using your phone like a mouse, which is pretty cool. Borderline useless, unless you were, like, watching YouTube, but even then, you had to type out stuff you wanted to use on YouTube. The YouTube app is not great. You had other stuff like Atari Club. So Atari Club is, yeah, it's not brilliant. Curiosity Stream, there's Kick on here, Nebula, Google. Google made a load of stuff for this, which is just very strange. Not sure what Pandora is. Spotify, Pluto TV, Plex, blah, blah, blah. Test the gamepad. ESPN. Okay, yep. There you go. Atari VCS Companion. So if you have this installed, you can also load it onto your phone. It just makes browsing very easy. Allegedly. Personally, I don't use it. Or I haven't used it. I don't think it's available anymore. But, yeah, I focus mainly on the games. So, everything like BPM Boy. BPM Boy is a sort of marble rolling game. Don't know too much about it. Breakout Beyond. Lot of games. Lot of games. And one space free for Jeff Minter's iRobot. But yes, do I think this console is worth your time? 100%. Do not buy Madness Beverage. It is trash. But yeah, let's play a bit of Food Fight Culinary Combat just to sort of finish off my thoughts on the VCS. So, I bought this game. I didn't even buy this game. This was the free game. So this was kind of the pivotal turning point for the Atari VCS in my brain. This was the moment I went, hang on a minute. This console has some worth. It might be worth getting things like Atari 50, playing things like Food Fight. I genuinely wish this game had a some sort of physical release on Switch would have been nice. I don't think it will happen. I don't think they're going to be bothering to port this. Mostly they just run off the Steam things. But yeah, you start off in a little hub world, which is great. You can pick outfits. I don't know what this place is, so I guess we can have a look when it decides to load. Oh yeah, this is like the starting room, which I don't know really anything about. You can sort of switch whatever character you're looking for. Yeah, so you come out of here, look around, it's like great, it's lovely, blah, 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 blah. Moving on, Yarian Embassy. That's from Yar's Revenge, which is great. Absolutely love it. I think you can play some Atari arcade games in here. I could be horribly wrong. I think it's mostly just... Yeah, let me see. Speak to Rosa about replacement parts. I haven't actually done any of this, to be fair. So you can play Yar's Revenge, if you're into Yar's Revenge. Crystal Castles, Centipede is out of order. Food Fight itself is out of order. Basically, all the arcade games, which are a decent collection. Yeah, so there's even a Polybius machine in here, which is great. I don't know what this does, if anything. It doesn't seem to do anything, which is just a bit stupid. Quest for the Cone. I think this is like a single player series of... Yes, it is. It's a series of sort of Splatoon style... See what I mean? This game is Splatoon, and it's brilliant for it. Oh, crap. Brilliant. That's fantastic. You do have infinite ammo, unlike Splatoon. Come on. Yeah, see what I mean? It's a bit like Splatoon. So you can cover certain environments with different squishy, gross goo stuff. Okay, we're in a bit more of a flow here. I think there's something over there. Oh no, I think over here was some kind of collectible the first time I did this. So we'll just sort of leave that. Yeah, so this game, whilst, let's be fair, not brilliant, because I'm shit at it, really changed my opinion on what this console could be, and indeed would be. This is kind of the only way for me to play Food Fight as well. I don't play PC. I don't like Steam. It annoys me. PC just pisses me off in general. It's too fiddly. It's not an enjoyable experience. It's just something I had to do or used to do. That being said, I don't see why we need like 3 ways to go. This game is also unforgiving when it comes to the stupid quest mode. I think I've beaten this. I think I've beaten this like once, the quest mode. It's okay. It's pretty solid. But most of the time you're going to be shooting people or bots. I think this has free online multiplayer as well. In fact, we might be able to get into a game. Let me have a look. But yeah, quit to desktop. Anyway, so yeah, that's the VCS. I recommend it. I don't recommend certain games. Madness Beverage is bad. I don't know why I have those. You can get... This is one of the only places you can get the original Missile Command Recharged. So even in the Atari Recharge collection for Switch, it's this one. This is the new one you get. 2020? That's the only way you can play Missile Command Recharged 2020 unless it's on Steam. Because it's not on app, it's not on Android anymore. I don't know if it's on anything. This was an interesting one I picked up. It's something I will probably get around to playing. But in general, yeah. That is the Atari VCS. I do recommend you give it a go. If you guys want to, you can hit me if you're part of the Atari VCS Facebook group. Shout out to you guys. You've been keeping this thing alive, and hopefully you'll join me on here. That's my tag. That's my handle. Let's team up and have a go. Shoot me a request, and we'll tell you what. We'll play Food Fight. We'll play Food Fight together. We'll do a big Food Fight tournament game thing. It'll be a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, that is me signing off. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.